Hey guys, Dustin here, and welcome to another Wildcard Wednesday video on Horroritis. So, I've been thinking a lot lately about how horror is a part of almost every facet of my life. And I was kind of thinking about how that came to be and what really got me started on that path. And I know that the first horror movie I ever watched was Return of the Living Dead. But I don't know if that was the first, my first real introduction into horror. And I think that really what got me started was an Alice Cooper concert video. Now, I'm not 100% sure which one I saw first, but I think it was the Alice Cooper video. And what it was is, I think it was like the Constrictor Tour, maybe, something like that. And of course, it was a couple years after that, because when the Constrictor Tour actually happened, I was like 1, maybe. So, you know, it was a few years after that, but somehow we had gotten a VHS copy of one of the shows off this tour. And in Alice Cooper's shows, he does a song called I Love the Dead, where they strap him into a guillotine and chop off his head. Well, after that, they pull his severed head out of the basket and kind of carry it around the stage with blood coming out of it and stuff. And, yeah, that... I remember just kind of like sitting there in the middle of the floor, and we had, you know, TV. It was on one of those really thin metal TV stands because it was like the 80s. And, you know, I remember just sitting there kind of in the middle of the floor watching this video and just thinking, holy crap, how is he going to finish the show? Because, you know, I was obviously, you know, I guess I didn't understand entirely what was happening. So, you know, they load him in and they chop off his head and, you know, they pull the head out of the basket, and, you know, going back looking at it now, it's so obviously a fake head, but, you know, to me then it was as real as it could be. And they're carrying it around, and then, you know, the lights go out and he comes back out for the next song and he's back together, and I'm thinking, how the hell did they put his head back on? But, you know, I think that's, that played a kind of an important role in sending me on the path I ended up going down. And, you know, it was kind of an introduction into horror, but at the same time, I kind of feel like it inspired my, my affection for pageantry, I guess you could say. You know, not like beauty pageants or whatnot, but, you know, theatrics would probably be a better word. Because, you know, if you look at my history of, say, like music, a lot of the bands that I've been into over the years have been pretty theatrical in one way or another. I mean, after Alice Cooper, there was Kiss. Kiss is, you know, nothing if they're not theatrical. Iron Maiden is pretty theatrical, though, to, you know, not as crazy as Kiss. There's Gwar. There's Lordi. I was really into ICP and a lot of the original Psychopathic Records artists when I was younger. So, you know, that's theatrics all the way through. And even now, you know, if I see a band that, you know, has costumes or a really good stage show or wears face paint or, you know, something, I'm probably going to give them more of a chance than I would a band that doesn't have anything, you know, that stands out apart from, you know, every other band on the stage. And here's a fun example of kind of how deep this runs. When I was maybe 15 or 16, it was before I actually had my own computer. We had this thing, it was called a web TV. It was made by Microsoft, and it had like 0 hard drive. It was all done on the internet. It was just this little box, and you hooked it up to your TV, and it had a wireless keyboard, and you did everything through there. So my mom and dad knew literally nothing about the internet or computers, but I was slowly learning, and my dad had gotten I guess a gift card or maybe a prepaid gift card or something like that, and wanted me to get something online, like a movie or something. I don't even remember now. But, you know, I decided, okay, yeah, I'll order this. And so I go online to order whatever it was. And somehow I stumbled across Cradle of Filth's website. Now, I had already been a fan of Cradle of Filth. I knew who Cradle of Filth was. I knew what they were doing. I owned a few of their albums at the time. And they had just come out with a movie called Cradle of Fear. So whatever it was I was supposed to be getting, I said to myself, wouldn't it be cooler if I just bought Cradle of Fear instead? So it was like, I don't know, it came out like $10 or something like that. I don't even remember. But whatever it was enough so that I couldn't get the thing that my dad had wanted me to get. And I ended up buying Cradle of Fear on VHS instead and having it shipped from the UK. And if you've ever seen it, it's not the best movie. But it's just kind of an example of how I will give something a chance just based on pageantry alone, almost. And, you know, Cradle of Filth has a level of pageantry to them. And my love for theatrics still is present to this day. It's, I think the most recent band I've found, or the one that I can remember being the most recent, was the band Avatar. I'd never heard of them, and I don't even remember how I found them. They were like in a related video on YouTube or something. And all I saw was the guy with the face paint, and said, oh yeah, okay, let's give it a try. And, you know, they've got a few songs that I like, and, you know, just based solely on the fact that the guy was, you know, wearing face paint, I gave it a try. And it was the same thing with, you know, like Lordi. I had no idea who they were. My buddy in Sweden actually sent me a video for one of their songs, and it turns out that, you know, not only do they dress like monsters, but the music is actually really good. And as far as theatrics go, these guys made their own friggin' movie. I should probably do a review on that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that probably soon, because I like that movie. I want to watch it again. And as far as Alice Cooper and Kiss go, I'm still a huge fan to this day. I know like every song except for some of the stuff off of Kiss's newest 2 albums, I think. I didn't think they were so great. They had a couple good ones, but not 100% for me. But, you know, aside from that, still a huge fan of both Alice Cooper and Kiss. That makes me wonder, why at such a young age didn't I freak out more at seeing somebody's head get chopped off? Because I very, very vividly remember thinking that that was real, but I wasn't freaked out at all. Like, I was more concerned about how he was going to finish the show, and then, you know, like I said, they brought him out, and, you know, he did the next song, and I was trying to figure out how they got his head back on. So, I don't know if it didn't register, but I should have freaked out more, I think, and I didn't. And I guess going forward, I don't think I've ever been frightened of a horror movie or any horrific scenes in anything. Maybe it's just the nature of me, or maybe I was nurtured that way, starting with Alice Cooper. I don't know. But that's it for this video. Just a thing I was thinking about, and it sort of relates to horror, so I figured it would be a good addition to the channel. You probably noticed there hasn't been a Saturday video in a couple of weeks. That's because we're bogged down with Christmas, and the place where I actually... Our media room where I go through the movies that I review is actually full of unwrapped Christmas presents and is more or less off limits. I'm hoping to fix that by this week. So yeah, they're coming back soon. I'm not done doing Saturday videos. It's just when I can get to it. But I can always hit these Wednesday videos. They take a lot less preparation, easier to get through. So that's what that's about. So keep checking back. We'll get those reviews back up. Tell me in the comments below what you think about, you know, like theatrics and pageantry with bands. Are you more or less likely to give a band a chance based on their theatrics? Also, any requests, comments, whatever, questions, hit me up in the comments section below. Of course, all of my details are in the description below. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. We'll get back to 2 a week here real soon. And that's pretty much it. So, thanks for watching. I'm Dustin. This was Horroritis. And as always, keep it creepy.